Good morning, welcome back to Fantasy Futures. It's only a couple hours until the elimination stage starts. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a video last night because I was casting, so couldn't do my pick'ems video, sadly, and this one's gonna be super late, but I hope it's still useful. I nailed it in the opening stage, top 3%, and that was with Glaive kind of ruining it for me, only 0 points. If I got Magia instead, it would have been a top 1% finish, but honestly, considering I hedged my bets, I'm very happy with that result, because that now puts me at number 2 on the celebrity leaderboard, only 6 points behind number 1, so feeling confident about getting that. And then maybe even a chance to get into the top 100 on the global leaderboard, which would be a huge win. Would love to be able to achieve that. Let's talk the elimination stage though, because I gotta really get this video out quickly for you guys. Honestly, I expect all the opening games to go to the favorites. The two that I think are most interesting are maybe FaZe Heroic and Spirit Cloud9. I could definitely see those going the other way. I also think Pain will beat Complexity, but other than that, all of the better seeding will win out. Could maybe see Ecstatic winning that. I'm kind of high on Ecstatic right now, but I think the big issue with me with a lot of these teams in the elim stage is they come in cold. Some of them haven't played in officials since like Kato and Blast Spring Groups or whatever it was, Showdown, whatever that event is. So, you know, there's a lot more unknown, I guess, about how they're going to perform at the major, but I still feel that we should expect the favorites to go through overall, and it's pretty safe to assume that teams like FaZe, Vitality, Spirit, G2 are all going to make it through in some fashion, but there's definitely going to be upsets because it is MR12. I will say though, the one learning that I have from that event is you don't need to pick a team that goes 3-0, 3 or 3-1. I think the team that came first in the last event had double Furia, so you can go teams that aren't going to go through cleanly. The padding isn't as important as long as you have players that perform well in those following games. So something to keep in mind. I'm just going to run through quickly the players I think are great value because there are a lot of really good value players this event. There's a lot of drafts you can do. Oh, and also it's 1.5 times points. Keep that in mind. I'm going to be drafting very safe because of that, because I don't want to stumble here, but you're going to get extra points for this. So this major cycle is super important. I wish it had been on the opening game because I did really well on it, but whatever. FaZe, I think Rops and Brokey really well priced. Karrigan is very popular, but I'm not going to pick him. I think he's a bit of a trap here because he always underperforms. There's better picks at this price, I feel. Spirit, a lot of people are going to pick Chopper. They feel that he's a must pick. I disagree. I actually think that at 195, there's better choices elsewhere. I think Zontix and Shiro are the best picks here. Donk is unattainable unless you go like triple IGL, not worth it. Vitality, Spinks is the player to pick this tournament. Every draft should have Spinks. He is 209k. He is a gold star player, should not be this price. I don't know why he's so cheap. 100% worth picking. And I think Apex or Mezzi is a good pairing with him. Mals, I'm not hot on Mals. I risked them at Kato, it backfired completely. Their prices are good. I think the key thing with Mals is that Shuei is cheap and he is the best bronze you can choose. He has consistent highs and I think that he's just a great player that can actually frag, unlike Karrigan, whose pop-off games are a lot rarer. For G2, I actually think this is a very interesting team because Hunter and Nexa are both very cheap, but with so many good options, about 10k more than them, I wouldn't go either of these players. I think Nico and Monacy, though, are very interesting. Monacy is probably going to be the highest rated player of this cycle outside of Donk and Zywoo, and is a little bit, well, quite a bit more affordable. So I think Monacy is a cool pairing with Hooksy. Hooksy, I think, is better value than Karrigan at that price. Nico is also a bit of a sleeper. He hasn't got his Mage yet. He hasn't got his flowers, and I think that maybe he's going to be having a little bit of fire to achieve that this time. Na'Vi are too scary. I wouldn't draft them. VP, I think a lot of people are interested in them at this event, and I think Flit and Fame at 211 and 212 are very appealing. Wouldn't go Mia, but I think Norbert is also pretty good. Cloud9, Electronics 207k. I think that's a really cool pick, and you can do some cool drafts with him, as well as Nerds at 209. But again, I think we're getting into territory where these teams are definitely going to be in that 2-2 kind of bracket, and I'd be very scared about drafting them. I think Complexity is going to bomb out. I think Eternal Fire have kind of reached their peak. Fury have as well. Mongols, same kind of situation. Even though I have them going through 3 over Pick'ems, it's Hopium, it's not going to happen. Imperial have some insane prices like Henny for 191 and No Way for 184, but I don't see them getting through. Ecstatic, same sort of situation, and Pain, also the same, so wouldn't be looking at those. Stick to the favorites. This event, you have to play safe because it's a 1.5 times multiplier on season points. And if you're playing for the season, you do not want to fumble here. Okay, so first up, I'm going to show you a cool draft that I'm not doing, but I wish I was brave enough to do. And I think if 1.5 times points wasn't on the line, I would do it. And that would be Sphinx Mezzy, Electronic Nerds, and then Maja as the final pick. This team is kind of cooking, I feel. There's 4 players that can really frag here, but I'm terrified to go this, so I won't be doing it. However, I think Sphinx is a must draft, as I mentioned, so he will be in my team. I'm then going to pick, I have to pick a spirit player. I'm going to get Zontix. I feel that he can have a lot of impact, particularly in these best of ones where I feel like Hobbit in the round prior, if he just has one of those pop-off games, it can really get me into a really good position for this event. And so I feel like I have to pick a spirit player, even if I do feel they're going to drop a couple of games here. I think people are a little too high on spirit right now. I do need to pick someone from them, and I think Zontix is a good all-around choice, a lot more affordable than Shiro or Dunk. That leaves me with a reasonable amount of money to spare. And I'm going to grab the must-pick bronze, which is going to be Shuei at 184. Like I said, I think this guy's a very consistent piece, and I think Mouse will make it through. I don't think it's going to be clean, but I think they'll make it through, and I expect him to at least be putting up some decent numbers. So at that price, can't really go wrong. Leaves me with 396, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of a risk. I know I said I wanted to play it safe, and I could go, say something like this. I think Scrawny's actually running this exact draft. I'm not going to do that though. I am kind of low on phase, and I also feel that there's just a few too many pieces here that could steal the spotlight from Frozen despite him looking pretty good at the moment. So I'm actually going to be going down a little bit further, and I'm going to G2. It's a little bit risky, I know, but I kind of have this faith in G2. I feel like this is going to be their moment. I've loved what I've seen from Nico currently. I think that at 217, he is probably the best caliber player at this price point. I rate him above Frozen, for instance. I rate him above Shiro. So it's a little bit crazy, but I feel like it's good enough and G2 will get through. And I feel that Nico can put up those numbers alongside Zontix and Sphinx to just carry me through this. I believe that Hooksy, despite being, memed on a little bit, has actually performing quite well in CS2, even better than Carrigan, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen from him. And with 3 stars, I don't hate this team. I think it's safe without being too safe, and it's risky without being too risky, if you know what I mean. So it's the Harkonnen, keeping with that theme. These are the roles. They're kind of okay. I prefer some different roles. I haven't even put leader into this because I'm a little bit on any of these teams going 3-0. I guess Sphinx would be the guy that would be most comfortable going leader. So maybe I will throw that on him actually, just in case. So that's going to be my team. Let me know you're drafting. The game starts in like 2 hours. So I'm going to try and upload this as quickly as possible. Hopefully it still helps you. And I'll have more time for the next video where there's actually a couple of days break. But as always, good luck.